NFT Altcoins. What's his next move? Let's take a look at the chart, shall we? Today we're going to be looking at Abyss. We're going to be looking at NFTX, and we're also going to be looking at AXS, and of course Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Today's episode. So if you're interested in that, well, it's going to be an exciting episode for sure, right? Because those things are popping off and popping. We're looking to see if we can find some good NFT altcoins so that we can get in and buy some before they actually start to explode. My name is Da Vinci Jeremy, and if you like that, make sure to hit the bell button, right? To hit the like button, of course, and subscribe, and the bell, and the all button, right? Because that's very important. And I'm here joined with Inti Campos.
Good morning, people. How are you today?
Oh man, I'm sure everybody's having a great time, right? We were having a little bit of difficulties. I didn't sure if this show was going to go through, but it did. I think so far there's no collapsing of the Wirecast right now, but hopefully we'll get through the show with no problems. Wow, there's a lot of things going on with the NFT space. I really think the NFT space is another big place to be in. It's really difficult to get into NFTs. Do you know why, NT?
Why? Because of these changes it is, for example?
Because it's like NFTs are basically are non-fungible tokens, right? And meaning that they're like artwork, right? And artwork is subjective, right? So which artwork do you wish to buy, right? What's going to go higher? What's going to go lower? Do you really know? Not really, right? Most people don't know what's going to do well. And so it's difficult to get in. So that's why we're looking for some altcoins that maybe will allow us to, benefit on somebody else's knowledge and go higher, basically, and not have to do our own research on each and every single particular art piece of art and whether or not it will go higher. So I think that's why NFTs are going to be very NFT altcoins are going to be very important, right? And you're gonna see huge NFTs going for millions of dollars. You're like, oh man, how do I buy something like that? Well, you're not going to be. Most people are not going to be able to do that, or most people just won't be able to do that. But I think we'll probably be able to find some altcoins that might be able to help us enjoy the ride as well. So what do you think, Inti?
I think that is kind of an unexplored territory, because most of us here are used to use measure value in the assets we commonly do, right? But artwork is way too difficult for us, I think.
Exactly, yeah, and you can't put it on a chart or anything like that, so it's difficult to figure out artwork. So, but anyways, before we get on to the charts and figure out what we're going to be buying, if we're going to buy anything at all, you've got a few words to tell the people, don't you?
Yes, I do. As always, people, it's worth to remind you that this video is for entertainment purposes only, and this is not financial advice. Please do your own research before putting any of your hard-earned money on the market. Now let's have some fun, Da Vinci.
All right, let's do it. Okay, well, remember, right? This video was recorded live in front of all my subscribers, both subscribers on Telegram group for the Pandora's wallet. So if you are missing out, you want to see the live, and you want to be a part of that, you can go over to www.pandoraswallet.com or davincij15.com, and basically it's you can subscribe and be part of that channel, and we're both having a sale on both the channels, so check that out, both those websites. Also, if you purchased a DJ15 token, you could also participate in the live stream, right? Because we do provide that for both the DJ15 token holders and the people who subscribe to Pandora's wallet. So check that out. Okay. With that said, let's head over to our first coin, right? Abyss, right? Abyss coin. I'm not sure if I like the name, right? Because it's gonna drop to abyss into the abyss, the price, and so it's not the greatest of names, right? Because you can make some serious jokes about this, but yeah, the abyss had a recent run up, right? Don't know what was the fundamental analysis that caused this thing to pump. But as normal, right? Most of these altcoins, when they do pump, they generally, especially when they're just new coins or something like that, they generally come back to the 88.6, um, and to give you a second chance to buy in on this. So if you're interested in buying, right now we're below the 78.6, and if we put in the 88.6, of course, we will see that. Okay, let me just change one of these numbers here. Yeah, you don't need these ones, so I'm going to put this to 88.6, 0.886, and I'm going to make it white. There we go. So once we've already touched this, the 88.6. Wow. So this is priced in BTC. You can buy this on Bittrex, and yeah, there's still an opportunity, probably because this thing is going to eat a little bit of this wick, right? What you need to learn, right? Another thing you need to learn about trading is that wicks and tails love to be eaten. When you have this large, long wick here, there's the high probability that we're going to come back a little bit lower. So if you're interested, and I'm thinking about nibbling down here and getting a few of Abyss in this little white zone here. So when it comes back all the way back to this jump off point where it just popped, I think that's where we can definitely get some cheap Abyss and see if that takes us somewhere. Don't bet the farm, of course. All right, next one is NFTX, right? We're going to be looking at, and it's also it's traded on Uniswap as well as Gate.io and a few other Sushi Swap. Look at that, Sushi Swap as well. But mostly it's a decentralized coin. All right, so let's take a look at their website quickly. Let's see if they have a website here. NFTX blog. They have a blog. Okay. Right. Interesting. Well, yeah, it's always difficult to determine whether or not a particular coin is halfway decent, right? You have to do a lot of research, and you know what? There's a lot of coins out there, right, to research. So you want to quickly assess the coin and decide whether or not to buy it. So let's take a look at the chart, because I like looking at the chart. I think the chart tells me everything I need to know. Yeah, coins don't really need in the bull market. Coins really don't need a huge amount of fundamentals. They just need pumpamentals in order to do well. All right. Well, with this, you can see that it's definitely. It might be getting into a range, right? We can see that we might be bouncing in between a range, but it's too early to tell. We can see that it does want to stay above its upper bound. Have a lot of long wicks that are far away from the actual price, so we have to be careful of that. Those wicks down here could get eaten, and we could see price action all the way back down here where it started. So we have to be careful. So let's just say we want to jump in on this. I think that's right somewhere around here. I think maybe we should wait for confirmation of where this thing wants to create the upper limits here, because it's probably going to create some sort of symmetrical triangle pattern or something like that. Once it does, right, you can probably buy the lower bound, and should it break down, basically, I would say the candle body of this level here, I think we should safely say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to walk away and come back to it all the way back down here. So that's one way you could deal with it. A little bit difficult, right, with Uniswap tokens, right, because you can't like just set sell orders, buy orders, and stuff like that. And yeah, then there's a liquidity problem, of course, when the price action hits here, you are actually selling into a liquidity pool, which will also push down the price even further. So yeah, it's always the issue. So how to best deal with this? I think I think the best thing to do is to wait. Um, Maybe start nibbling, start dollar cost averaging into this at the 61.8 all the way down. So let me just reverse that. Settings. Let me scroll down. Reverse. There we go. And so somewhere it's already hit the 61.8, which is unfortunate, right? It would have helped if you hit that, but it would have been really hard on the Uniswap token. But yeah, if it comes back to 61.8, you're interested in buying a little bit. Yeah, that might be the hey, you know what? People are going to dump this if they're trading it at this point. But hey, you're going to capture some of that liquidity and maybe get a bounce instead, because you just don't know, right? So that's why you don't want to go too heavy on the 61.8. You want to wait for the 78.6 or the 88.6 to actually get to get some more coins. You have to concern yourself with this wick, especially if we come back down here on the 78.6. But starting to nibble right below the 61.8 and all the way down, not a problem. All right, the next coin we want to look at is Axie Infinity. This coin, right, also is available on Binance and SushiSwap. And this, what is it, Balexi, and whatever. What kind of exchange is that? Well, let's take a look on Binance, right? We can see priced in BTC. You don't want to price these things in anything other than an asset that has some real value. You don't want to price this in dollars, right? Why is that? Because dollars, they're going away, basically. It's the value is just collapsing. So you want to price it in something that's actually increasing in value, and that's BTC. And so you want to make sure that you're getting more than just holding Bitcoin, right? Because if you can't get more than holding Bitcoin, then you should just hold Bitcoin, right? So, looking at this, right, it's already came back to the 61.8 from its last pump. We missed an good entry point, as you can see. 61.8 is very important, right? Always, you can see that price more often than not, price action bounces from the 61.8. Will you be able to get another 61.8 entry level or the 88.6? Possibly, but unlikely. This thing looks like it's ready to rock and roll. We've already M'd out at the top here and finished and completed its price objective. There seems to be a lot of interest in buying this down here, and the volume is not going away, so people are interested in buying it. So there's a bit of a volume divergence from the last local high. So you can see that we have a lot of people interested in this asset. So the best thing to do is to go, okay, well, since there's a lot of people interested, I'm going to draw my fibs from this level, from this top here to this top to this bottom here, and assume that this might be a short-term top, and then hit the 61.8 from there. And you say, hey, you know what, I'm interested in that from that point as well. So that's how I'd play this coin, and in fact, I'm probably going to do that right after today's show. All right, next coin, we're going to take a look at that. is take a look at is a Gala. I like Gala. I like this Gala. So I like the name basically, and it's traded on Uniswap, right? And what the bit true? Okay, so let's take a look at this on Uniswap, and Gala. Let's see here. What's the volume here? 300K. I guess this is the right one right there, because it has the highest volume. Ooh, wow, did it ever explode? I hope you know. Yeah, none of us who watch this show are buying this up here, right? I hope you guys did not do that. None of you guys did that, right? None of you guys are like, oh my god, I can't believe it's coming back down. No, I hope so. I hope you guys who watch this every day learn that you don't buy highs, right? So where Inti, can you remind people where we start getting interested? Just as a reminder, where do we start getting interested?
We start getting interested just at 61.8, and even then it's too expensive.
Exactly.
And you know what is going to happen to you if you buy the top, right?
Yeah, you're gonna get wrecked. Basically. Yeah, and our objective is not to get wrecked. Not only that, not only not getting wrecked, but also we want to be able to come back and play this game again, right? So the best thing to do. Ooh, look at that. You know what? The interesting thing is there's a lot of what's it called, W's here. So maybe, just maybe, you could probably draw your fibs from this level here. Just maybe, right? And see if it only bounces off of this level. Little bit of a risk because of this new coins like this tend to come all the way back down. So I'm a little skeptical about drawing my fibs here, but you can see there was a lot of clean W's here, a lot of clean W's before it actually went and the face ripped higher. So I'm a little concerned, right? Maybe I'm not gonna say that you shouldn't nibble this thing at the 61.8 from this level, but I'm not interested actually at all, because I know how new coins are. I think we should start nibbling at the 61.8 from the actual absolute bottom, and we can see that that's right where the W, right, the last W takeoff was. So I think that's more likely to be our objective than the other one, which was up here. So yeah, I'm interested here. 61.8. All right. So the best way for me to be notified is I can use the Coinigy's system here to help me notify me when it has approached that level. So let's use that exactly to my advantage. All right, so as we're saying here, we were the chart looks a little bit different because I guess they don't have all the data. That's why I like to use the what's it called, chart X Pro. So we're at the 61.8. We're interested in is in the 97,576. So let's do that. 97 over here. Let's go here and let's go to. Let's drag this. Can we drag that down? No. Okay, hang on. 97. Let's drag it down to, there we go, right about there, just at the candy body. It just takes off, and we're gonna hit. I am looking to buy Gala here. All right, that's where I'm interested, and I'm gonna set the alert. Right, got to use all the tools you can, right, to help you maximize your potential how much money you could possibly make. All right, with that said, let's move on to our final NFT altcoin, which is Flow, right? Let's head over to, let me quickly head over to the Flow website, on Flow, and see how that looks. It's just like, okay, that's nice. They have the Crypto Kitties, NBA. What are all this? Okay, alrighty. Let's see what this thing can do. Alright. Let's take a look at the charts, because the charts gives us the most information. Alright, so before we go to the charts, let's see where this thing's traded. Kraken. Okay, wow. Okay. Wobi. OKX. Coinless. So, it's got a nice rounded set of exchanges, which is good. I wonder, popular coins. Okay. I wonder if it's on Uniswap. Alright, so let's see if Flow is on Uniswap. Yes, it is. And that's weird. Okay, so then that looks like a little bit of a scam there. So a scam token. So let's ignore that and head over to Coinigy. And we know it was on Huobi. And let's take a look. Yeah, this thing has taken off. We're not interested in this thing up here at all. Not at all. It's already too sky high for me. We're interested at the same old place as usual, 61.8. I don't think the 61.8 was going to be the right one to hit. You can see that that it doesn't line up with any kind of resistance level, right? This would be the resistance level, which is the 39,582 sats would be a resistance level. So I think this thing has a little bit more to go before it actually decides to roll over. And yeah, I'm just gonna have to wait to see if this thing comes back down to earth before I buy. So I'm interested in getting a little nibbling on this thing. So give me I'm gonna get an alert, right? Hey, you know what? I want to know more about this particular coin. Flow may be a buy here. Alright, and we're going to just drag this down here to the resistance level, which is approximately right here. Okay, and then I'll get a notification to take a look at this coin once again. Alright, let's head over to Bitcoin and Ethereum before we close off today's show. Once again, if you're interested in trading Bitcoin or Ethereum, you can do so by heading over to buybit.davincij15.com, or if you want to trade on Femex, right? Femex has a lot more coins. You can do so on femex.davincij15.com as well. Alrighty, let's head over to first Bitcoin, and then let's take a look at Ethereum. Bitcoin on a daily chart looks very bullish. We finally moved above the 13 EMA, and as you can see, if they cross upwards, things start to look very bullish, right? Especially when it crosses between the 30 moving average and the 13 EMA. So we're looking for that to happen. Now, let's go down to the lower time frames. Right, we're looking at. I'm looking for the 13 EMA to be touched by the 4 hour before we start to see us move a little bit higher. If we go and bring up some of my analysis here. Hang on a second. Let's see. Is it going to go back to? There we go. So if we go back, you can see that we've broken out of a falling wedge, and we're battling the 38.2. Now, just like I said, I knew it was going to battle the 38.2, but where to hit the short was always a difficult thing. We tried to hit a short. I told you guys, I was not going to take a short here, even though I knew that it will come back to the 38.2 and battle it. Just figuring out where was the hard part, and I guess taking a 1% loss instead of a 2% loss was probably the better. But again, there's not much room for it to come back down. That's the problem, right? When we were looking at this rising up, so there was not much room for us to take a clean short as it was coming into the 38, as it was battling the 38.2. But this is a normal thing to happen, right? We see that often, whether we're heading back down or heading back up. The 38.2 is a battle lines, and once it's resolved, right, it resolves higher, and or if it resolves, if we're heading down, it will resolve lower very fast. So if we create an M here, we could go all the way back down to our target that we're looking for, which is the 41,000-ish area. All right, so we're looking for either an M or a W, right, to take us to the promised land, or some sort of trading pattern to give us some sort of key direction, which we'll probably get in a very short while. You can see that the hourly, right, is still battling the 38.2 and is trying to stay above the 13 EMA to keep itself bullish. We're not creating any kind of decent W's. I mean, you could count this as a W, but it's not a very decent one. So I'd be careful with this one. So maybe we create a new W on the hourly. But if we go down to the 15-minute, you can see that's where we can create a W here if we do not break lower than. Let me just make this bigger. Right, if we do not go lower than this low right down here. So if we just create this, come all the way back down and bounce from this level here, which is the $38,280, right? We bounced before that. We can see a W and maybe take that as a way to go. Also, we could see that that we're also creating some sort of pattern here, but we're a little early to the game here, so I have to wait and see, right, whether it's going to let's see, maybe this is the solid resistance level. Let's just see. If we bounce here on this resistance, that's positive, right? That we've created the bottom resistance channel here, and we gotta wait and see how high this thing goes before we can say, okay, well, maybe this is the top part of the resistance before we can say, okay, yeah, let's trade this, because if a break of this line or a break of the top line, then we're going to go higher, or we're going to go lower if we break the bottom line. All right, let's move over to Ethereum. Ethereum, right, is on the daily is not looking too bullish, right? But that's normal for Ethereum. Ethereum likes to fake us all out, and especially in this bullish phase, likes to fake out, make sure it shakes out the most amount of hands most of the time. Again, I think let's just here. Let's just let me just scroll back. Actually, let me just go back and add my my drawings. There we go. Yep, we are also battling the 38.2, just as I mean, it's like clockwork. Isn't it beautiful, the Fibonacci levels? It's like they work so well, right? You can see how this is battling the 38.2. I mean, you could have hit a small short off of this, but would have been really scary. Again, not for everybody. But again, we have to like go down to lower time frames because there's nothing going on here on the 4 hour until we can probably see it touch closer to the 13 AMA as just as the Bitcoin price. So scrolling down to the lower time frames, right? You can see W's forming similar to Bitcoin, but again, Ethereum likes to punish you a lot. You can see this M, right? It kept telling you, "Oh yeah, I'm Ming out," and let's just say you took this overall M or even the smaller ones, you got stopped out, right? Based on our rules of taking these M's, so it's really brutal, right? And you wouldn't probably want to take the M's on this massive this uptrend that we're bouncing off of, especially since we broke out of this falling triangle. Which actually, if we look at this, right, we can see. I think it was a falling wedge, or no, maybe it was. Let's take a look. No. Well, I guess we could call that. I don't like it, but yeah, we could call it, but I'm like a little bit skeptical on that. But I think we could head up to the 61.8 at the very least before this thing rolls over. So with that said, yeah, I think to do a short here with looking for M's here is probably like a little bit of suicide because it's just too early in the breakout. So yeah, and then with the 4 hour being bullish, you want to like look for signs of more bullish signs than bearish ones. Okay, nothing really to find a trade, but maybe you can go down to the 5 minute to find a trade. That's generally a lot easier, but then again, you have to you're gonna be don't be prepared to be chopped a lot. But there you can see right there was a trade there, right? There's always a trade somewhere, and you can see there's a little bit of a trade here, right? Which the W, whoops, hang on. There's a little bit of a W right here, which would have taken you to, especially the breakout from this level, would have given you a 2-to-1 on that trade. So yeah, there's always a trade somewhere. Just gotta look for it. And look, I think this one, if we, and if you can't see the W's, another way I can see a W here, but if you can't see them and you're having trouble seeing the W's, there's another way for you to help you find the W's. Instead of using candlesticks, you can use line charts, and the W's show up a lot clearer, right? You can see it, right? And you see that little cheeky W down here, right? A lot clearer for you if you're having trouble seeing them with the bar charts, right? You can see there it is, the breakout level, everything on the line charts. So yeah, there's a little bit of a helping hand if you've missed that. Alrighty. With that said, thank you all for watching. Remember that at the end of the show, NT will be looking for questions, right, from everyone that's watching this live, and you can watch us live, of course, on Twitch for free if you don't have a lot of cash and you can't afford the $10 or actually now $5 for the DJ15 token. So I think it's worth owning a little bit of the DJ15 token. And my guys are working on providing a way for you guys to buy small amounts without having to pay those huge amount of fees. So yeah, thank you all for watching. And don't forget, you know what, to check out my Bybit tutorial, which is popping up somewhere around here. All right, cheers, people.
Bye.